Joel.
Footloose. You've heard the theory about 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
6? I'm from Lehi, go easy. I'm 1 degree of Kevin Bacon. Footloose was filmed in my high school my senior year in high school. And
A new one?
no. That just had dancers from Orem that were featured. That's without getting overly emotional. Lehi was a town that went from Fairfield to Draper, Masita to the swamps of American Fork before it was broke into about 5 different municipalities now. And when I graduated from high school in 1983, there was 164 people in my graduating class. I'm not that old, guys. I turned 50 this year. When you go down there now, you're not going to find Hicks with a rope behind a motorcycle water skiing in the Murdoch Canal. It's covered, and it's part of a greater road that used to be called the Alpine Highway. It's now the Timpanogos Highway. You're not going to find Hicks going out with pitchforks and killing carp and shooting rabbits and stuff like that, because they can't now because it's within the city confines. You're not going to find people trying to get a job at a steel mill that's being closed down because it's really the only thing besides going up to Salt Lake to work at Kennecott, because word perfect is just an idea that's basically in a couple of small buildings over in Warren. You're not going to find a lack of traffic signals because they didn't exist. When I went to our family dairy to milk cows, I rode a Fuji 10-speed bicycle at 3 o'clock in the morning and typically wouldn't see a single vehicle on I-15 or on State Street on the 7 miles it took me from me to get to Lehi to American Fork. Much like what John talked about, can you see the picture of pain that I have every single time I get off on the Alpine Highway? Timpanogos Highway, doesn't matter, I was raised on Timp. I got sentimental feelings about that too. I look at an area that has this sea of asphalt with towers in the middle of it with really impressive names on it and an amazing amount of employment and complete plethora of homes and white steeples that didn't exist before, and a high school that I went to that's now 4. It's the largest high school in the state. They're finally taking down the old infrastructure from where I was at. But I have business meetings in a place that used to be owned by my wife's family, where the Adobe building was, where my mother-in-law was raised in a chicken coop. It's true. If you ever remember the windmill up there, that was the Fox's windmill, and they had across the way, the filling station was their other side of the family. I have nothing against the jobs that we have down there. They're necessary. I have nothing against the incredible opportunities that the outside corporations that come into Utah are able to exploit in the form of cheap labor and well-educated people that's down there. I have a problem with, I'm not as fat as I used to be, but I can't walk from one of those places to one of those places to eat. I have to get in a car. That to me is problematic. I'm not an urban planner. I'm just kind of passionate about my old town being completely separated by these huge veins of where people drive and everything else. They got this fantastic intermodal center down there, but you can't eat without getting into your car. So I'm not calling out the developers. I'm simply stating that we have a chance to service that tech hub that we have down there with one of our own, with these wonderful trains that go up and down the Wasatch Front. They go north, they go south. And this is our capital city. We need to lead through education, and we need to be able to do this in a way that I believe all of us can. So my ode to Footloose is, I've got innocence lost too. My town's gone now, and it's doing fantastic things. There's amazing, amazing things going on down there. But when we do this here, let's just do it a little bit better. Kind of like the Footloose before and after, except I like the original better. Go ahead.